Good morning, children. Now, I am here to explain the first lesson for Standard 6. Who did Patrick's homework? Written by Carol Moore. Carol Moore was an English author. She was born on July 12, 1871. She was an American educator, writer, and advocate for children libraries. She was known for pioneers, children librarian, and book critic. She died in New York City on January 20, 1961. So, children, before starting the lesson, shall we discuss some questions? Do you like homework? Do you do your homework yourself or with someone's help? What homework do you usually have? Yes, children, most of us do not like to do homeworks. Here also, we are going to read about a boy who does not like to do homeworks at all. The main character of the story is Patrick, who does not like to do homework at all. So, now I shall start with the first paragraph. Patrick never did homework. Too boring, he said. He played hockey and basketball and Nintendo instead. So, children, Patrick here does not like to do homework and he never did his homework. Instead, he would say that homeworks are always boring. So, he started playing cricket, hockey, basketball, and Nintendo. Nintendo means a kind of a video game. His teachers told him, Patrick, do your homework or you won't learn a thing. And it's true, sometimes he did feel like an ignoramus. But what would he do? He hated homework. So his teachers told him, do your homework regularly, Patrick. If not, you will not be able to learn anything. Patrick also felt the same time. Ignoramus, he felt ignoramus. Ignoramus means a person who lacks education. So, what he could do? He did not like to do homework. He hated homework. So, he never minded about what the teachers said. He started doing things in his own way. Then one day, he found his cat playing with a little doll and he grabbed it away. To his surprise, it wasn't a doll at all, but a man of the tiniest size. One day, Patrick found his cat playing with a doll like something like a doll. So Patrick grabbed it from the cat. To his surprise, it wasn't a doll. It was a tiny man. He was very surprised to see the tiny man which he didn't see which he had ever seen before. He had a little wool shirt with old-fashioned breeches and a high tall hat much like the witches. Breeches means short trousers and he had a long hat like the witches wore. He yelled, Save me! Don't give me back to that cat. I'll grant you a wish. I promise you that. So the tiny man sought help from Patrick. He begged Patrick to save him from the cat. And he also promised to grant Patrick a wish. Patrick couldn't believe how lucky he was. Here was the answer to all of his problems. So he said, Only if you do all my homework till the end of the semester, that is 35 days. If you do a good enough job, I would even get A's. So Patrick could not believe his eyes, but he was happy that he got an answer to all his problems. He thought he would make the tiny man to do all his homework for a semester. Semester is of 35 days. And he asked the tiny man to do a good enough job so that he might get the A grade. The little man's face wrinkled like a dishcloth thrown in the hopper. Dishcloth means a cloth used to wash dishes. Hopper means a basket with lid where we put the dirty clothes. A basket where we put dirty clothes. He kicked his legs and doubled his fists, and he grimaced and scowled and pursed his lips. Oh, am I cursed? But I'll do it. So here the tiny man becomes very angry. He shows lot of expressions in his face because he thought he was cursed that he is going to do such a job like a homework. So he didn't have any other option. So he agreed to do Patrick's homework. And true to his word, the little elf began to do Patrick's homework. Except there was one glitch. The elf didn't always know what to do and he needed help. Help me, he'd say. And Patrick would have to help him in whatever way. So the tiny man started doing his homework. But that was a glitch. Glitch means some problem. So the elf always had a problem. Elf means the tiny man. He always had a problem. He didn't know anything at all. Everything was new to him. So he always sought Patrick's help. He would call Patrick and he would ask him, help me. I don't know this. You have to guide me. So somehow Patrick was there to help him. I don't know this word, the elf squeaked while reading Patrick's homework. Get me a dictionary. No, what's even better, look up the word and sound it out by each letter. So the elf would ask Patrick that he didn't know the meaning of the word. He would ask Patrick to get him a dictionary or even a better book where he could find meaning for all words. And he would ask Patrick to read the word by each letter. When it came to Max, Patrick was out of luck. What a times table! The elf shrieked. Shrieked means a cry with high pitch. We elves never need that. And addition and subtraction and division and fractions? Here, sit down beside me. You simply must guide me. So when it came to Max's homework, Patrick was really out of luck. He didn't know about times table. The elf didn't know about times table because it was everything new to him. The human world was new to the elf. So the elf simply would ask Patrick to help him in every aspect. Elves know nothing of human history. To them, it's a mystery. So the little elf, already a shouter, just got louder. Go to the library. I need books, more and more books, and you can help me read them too. So the elf told Patrick that they do not know anything about human history. The elf was already a man of anger and he was always shouting. He was shouting always. But now he had become even more louder and he shouted at Patrick to go to the library and bring more and more books to refer and told Patrick to read and help him out in that also. As a matter of fact, every day, in every way, that little elf was a nag. So here, nag means a person of trouble. Person of trouble. Patrick was working harder than ever and it was a drag. Drag means something which is harder and harder, and something which you find very dull and uninteresting. So Patrick felt that elf was a nag. Nag means a person full of trouble, and working so hard he felt that it was uninteresting, but he had no other option. He had to do it. So he stayed late at nights. Didn't even sleep. He was staying up nights and never felt so weary, was going to school with his eyes puffed and bleary. So here, Patrick was working at late nights also. He felt so weary. Weary means tired and restless. He went to school with puffed eyes. Puffed eyes means swollen eyes because he did not sleep at nights. When we don't sleep at nights, our eyes will become fluffy. So he was restless and he went to school with puffed eyes. Finally, the last day of school arrived, and the elf was free to go. As for no homework, there was no more. So he quietly and slyly slipped out of the back door. So the final day of the school came. So the elf was free to go. So he slipped silently away from the back door. Patrick's got his A's. His classmates were amazed. His teachers smiled, were full of praise, and his parents, they wondered what had happened to Patrick. He was now the model kid. Cleaned his room, did his chores, was cheerful, never rude, like he had developed a whole new attitude. To all, there was a surprise that Patrick has got a A grade. His classmates were surprised, they were happy, they were smiling. The teachers were full of praise that Patrick has got his A grade. And the parents were wondering, they were surprised to see such a change in Patrick's attitude. Now he was considered a model kid. Model kid means a monitor, like a person who is full of admiration. Now Patrick was regular in all his work. He seemed to have developed a new attitude. Attitude means a new feel about someone. You see, in the end, Patrick still thought he'd made that tiny man to do all his homework. But I'll share a secret just between you and me. It wasn't the elf. Patrick had done it himself. So here, the author reveals a secret that Patrick thought that he made the elf to do all his homework, but he never knew that he had himself done the homework because the elf didn't know anything and sought Patrick's help always. So Patrick never realized that it was him who did all the homework. Children, I hope you enjoyed the story and understood the lesson. Thank you.